Good morning. I lied. It's the afternoon. I was gonna say that I recently saw this video, but it definitely wasn't recent. It was like in November or December of last year, and it is now April. So November, December, the holidays does not count as recent anymore. I feel like this is crooked. That's better. But there's this video that I saw Dylan Joseph do where he essentially challenged himself to go out to coffee shops all day and only read in coffee shops all day. And I decided that that was an interesting idea because I usually read at home. I just like sit on my couch or in my chair or on my bed or on my floor. On the floor a lot actually. On the floor. And I'll like read my book in my pajamas with my hair sticking up in different areas. Like I only really get ready though to like do my hourly job. So I don't get ready for myself. I don't get up, go out into the world and get ready and just hang out with myself. I do that at home. And so after watching his video, I was like, I should just do that more often. I should just leave the house, go to a coffee shop, go somewhere kind of fun, interesting, or whatever, and read or write or do an activity. This week we're reading though. Obviously going out in public does cost money, but I feel like there's ways I can kind of figure out how to make it cheap. You know what I mean? So that is the goal for the video. So I've been reading The Handmaid's Tale and I have been like trudging through it. I don't know, it's good, I enjoy it, but I don't know, I feel like one page takes me like 10 minutes to read. And it's not even like complex or hard to understand, I just read it very slowly. Maybe there's just a lot of thoughts going on in my tiny little brain. Anyway, so my goal is to get through like the last chunk of this book. I have like a little bit less than a third left. I just was reading at a local coffee shop. I've been wanting to try here in Denver. The coffee was really good. I'm a little over caffeinated right now though because I had coffee before I went, like an idiot. Anyway, let's talk about what I just read, okay? Because I read like that much. See, I read for like, I feel like an hour, but that's really not that much, whatever. Maybe I only read for like 20 minutes and I'm losing my mind. But let's see, there was something I wanted to pull out of here and talk about. Oh, there's this part where the commander is asking her how she feels about the situation, like the Handmaid's Tale situation. I'd like to know what you think. There's hardly any point in my thinking, which is the only reason he can tell me things. I'm just telling you what I underlined. You're intelligent enough, you must have an opinion. About what? I say. What we've done, he says. How things have worked out. And then she just replies, I have no opinion. What else is she supposed to say? She also can't like lie and say that she likes it, you know what I mean? So she goes, I have no opinion, and he goes, and then there's like a little thought bubble where she's like, he knows what I think, all right. And then he says, you can't make an omelet without breaking eggs. We thought we could do better. Better, I say, in a small voice. How can he think this is better? Better never means better for everyone, he says. It always means worse for some. And I put a little note. I said, shouldn't it mean better for all or most though? I feel like better, if it is better, it's better for most people. In my opinion. Oh, here. This is the part I wanted to note as well. This is what she's asking of God. She says, don't worry about forgiving me right now. There are more important things. For instance, keep the others safe if they are safe. Don't let them suffer too much. If they have to die, let it be fast. You might even provide a heaven for them. We need you for that. Hell we can make for ourselves. Ooh, Margaret Atwood. I am gonna read more at home. Reading in public makes me anxious because my feet start hurting because I'm wearing shoes and then I want to take my shoes off and then I'm like, I can't take my shoes off in public, that's disgusting. And so I'm just sitting there with my feet hurting and then I think about how much my feet hurt and then how much I want to take off my shoes or how much I want to put my hair up while I'm reading, or if I'm making faces while I'm reading and I'm like, what if I'm making faces and I want to take my shoes off and I want to put my hair up, but I can't do any of those things because I'm in public and then I have to go home. So that's where we're at, but this was fun. So yeah, come along with me in this vlog as I finish my books and I read in public. All right. It's already super hot in this car. That's really great. Anyway, I brought different shoes today. Gonna go into a different coffee shop. This one was recommended to me by one of my coworkers. She goes here a lot and was like, it's really good. Have you tried it before? And she's asked me like this 4 times. And I said, no, I haven't tried it. And so I've decided I'm gonna try it. Pretty self-explanatory. Walk into the coffee shop and read a book. To ignore a lot of what's going on. First, I'm doing laundry. Second, I washed my hair. Third, it's a little while after I was reading in the coffee shop. And the reason for that is because the SD card in my camera ran out of space while I was reading. So I had to come home and clear it out. And then I also just really wanted to wash my hair because it was ugly. And then I just finished The Handmaid's Tale while I was here because I didn't have a lot left. I had like 50 pages left. And I gotta say, everyone who was like unfamiliar with the actual book and like how it works, it's written like somebody's recounting their life in Gilead. So it's not super specific. It jumps around a lot. It's written like a train of thought. Like she's trying to explain how her life has gone living in Gilead. And so a lot of times the themes are buried in what she's saying, in the subtext, in her opinions. And the thing that really stood out to me about this book was like, I feel like everybody ever just talks about these like outfits that they wear and the ceremony. Since this is the internet, I can't like talk about what the ceremony is, but that's like how they make the babies. That's what everybody thinks about when they think about The Handmaid's Tale, I feel like. Or at least like when you talk about like, say, Alchemized being adapted from The Handmaid's Tale and Harry Potter, people say, oh, The Handmaid's Tale because of the forced childbearing. But the biggest thing that stood out to me though was like, this book isn't about the ceremony. The ceremony is such a small piece of this person's life. The biggest piece is like how women in this society have been systemically taken down and dehumanized and turned into vessels, that they don't matter, that they don't have opinions. Like what really stood out to me is there's a point when the main girl, Offred, she's doing something illegal with the commander, and the commander is like basically forcing her to do these things, and she can't say no to the commander. The commander is in charge of her. If she says no to the commander, she could literally be murdered. She does all these things, and then this is revealed to the commander's wife, and then the commander's wife calls her a slut. Something's not adding up here, because a slut would have wanted to do all of that, but she was obligated to do it because it was the commander. She had no power to say no. And this is like a world where it legitimizes policing women's bodies because of a lower birth rate, turns women and their sexual drive into the same thing, if that makes sense. Like this book equates women to sexuality. Like men are not sexually stimulating. They just crave sex. And so if we take away their desirability, then men will no longer desire sex. And so therefore people will stop having sex out of wedlock. They will just have sex to have babies, which is the like godly intended purpose of it. This book isn't just about women and the ceremony. It's about turning sex into oh my gosh, where is the quote? It's not just about taking away the rights of women, even though that's a huge piece of it. It's about turning sex into its bare necessities. There's this quote here where it says, arousal and orgasm are no longer thought necessary. They would be a symptom of frivolity merely. Like jazz garters or beauty spots, superfluous distractions for the light-minded, outdated. It seems odd that women once spent such time and energy reading about such things, thinking about them, worrying about them, writing about them. They are so obviously recreational. And I said, when everything is reduced to its bare necessity, where does fun or play fit into it? Nowhere. And so it like reduces sex to no longer something fun and recreational that people do because they enjoy it. It makes it something that is just meant for procreation, and that in and of itself is a piece of like religious like Christianity. That's really what the underlying theme felt, because there's so much like almost pity for the men in the society too, because they also don't get to sexually indulge. But it treats men as people who need sex. There's a point when the commander takes Offred into a sex club. He mentions to her that he's like, men by nature need to have all these different women, and you know, that's why women would get dressed up all the time and wear different clothes and do their hair different and all this stuff to like trick men into thinking that they were different women, which is a crazy thing to say, but I also felt very Andrew Tate of him to say, and I was like, that's insane. I don't know, like that's really what stands out to me about this is it's not just about, it's about how if we take sex and we turn it into something that is merely for procreation, it's only something people do in order to procreate. It's not love, it's not fun, it's not arousal, it's not recreational, it's not something that you can do because it's human and because it's hard to describe, right? You just do it to have kids. Then it takes away, like, you know, the reasons why people would have sex with the same gender, or it takes away the reasons why people would have sex with someone they don't know, or like why someone might enjoy or like sex and all of that kind of stuff, and how reducing sex to simply procreation also simultaneously reduces women to the role of procreation and nothing more as well, and how it ties women and their sexual desirability directly to impropriety of doing sex for fun, right? And I think that this is all off the dome, so I'm kind of rambling. I was very fascinated with its exploration of religion, not just religion, but like religiosity and its attachment to sexual desire, and the confluence of women and sexuality, and how men are innately not sexual unless they are desiring women, that women themselves cannot look at a man and desire him sexually. And a lot of Offred's rebellion was in her desire to have men. So much of this book is her desiring to be held, desiring to be touched, desiring to be intimate, because she's also not allowed to be intimate. Her entire purpose is to be an incubator. And when her life is reduced to literally nothing but making her body perfect for incubation, she is completely unsatisfied. And it's like, why would this be the ideal way for people to live their lives? It does get the population numbers up, but do we really need the population numbers up when we still got nuclear power plants murdering, like that the people are dying at? And if the men are still going behind people's backs to break laws and have sex with prostitutes, then what is this all doing or saying anyway? And it like completely erases not just women, but women's sexual desire. And I think that is a really interesting and astute criticism of society and all of that, because I mean that's what dystopian is at the end of the day, is a criticism of ideology. But I'm again just rambling because I just finished it. I'm feeling very tired. Reading in public is very unnerving and tiring, because like I'm stressed out about what's going on around me, because like what if someone comes up to me, I don't know, like what if something happens, what if someone's being distracting? People are distracting all the time. I don't know, like I get really stressed out reading in public, and I'm realizing that I'm like, there's something nice about getting sucked into a book in a public space, but I don't know, for something about it makes me feel really watched. Everyone thinks I'm being performative. Like no, they're like, they don't give a fuck, but like also, what if they think I'm being performative? But also, I want to read in public, but also, I'm stressed out, but also, I just spent $7 on yet another latte, so I'm spending a lot of money this week, you know, and that's fine. I'm gonna take a little break from the vlog for the weekend, because I don't like filming on weekends, but we'll come back to this next week. Anyway, we finished The Handmaid's Tale. I will see you in the next video clip. Oh my god. So I just finished getting my oil changed. Happy Wednesday. I go out of my way to go to a very particular oil change place. I have no idea if you can see it in the background. That'd be funny if you could. But the people there are really nice. They recognize me. The lady today, she goes, "New car?" And I went, "Yeah, you noticed, bestie? I got T-boned." But because I go out of my way, I like to make a day of it. I like to make a thing of it. And there's this Chinese food place over here that's really good and has a really good lunch special. And so I was like, I'm gonna go get lunch, and then I'm gonna read my book there. But the problem is I really have to pee, and that makes me uncomfortable, because I'm like, going to a place alone and having to pee is like weird. I don't know what that, it is weird to me. Anyway, I do this to myself like every single time. Every single time I get a fucking oil change, I'm always like getting my oil changed while I always have to pee. I always get in line and go, oh, I have to pee. Like, girl, I could have peed at work. I should have peed at work. I had to pee while I was at work. And then I drove my ass out of my way half an hour to go to the oil change place. And then I sat in line, and then they took 25 minutes to change my oil because I think that the guy was new or something. So it took a while. And so I've had to pee for like an hour and a half. I'm gonna get a bladder disease one of these days. But you know what? Not today. Anyway, that's the plan. We're gonna go read in the Chinese food restaurant. Now I'm reading, I guess I should talk about books now. So now I'm reading The Wall. Here, let me pull it out. The Wall by Marlen Haushofer. I started a little bit ago. I was like in the middle of Alchemized, and the middle of that book is, I'm making a video, so I'm not gonna get into it, but I was like really not having a good time. So I said, I'm gonna read something that I actually want to read. And I started that one. I'm about a third of the way through, and it's pretty good. And I finally finished Alchemized this week. Thank God. But now I'm reading The Wall as like I like that. I'm reading a book I actually like to get away from that. Anyway, we're going into the food place. I'm actually gonna pee my pants, so I can't keep talking. It's insanely windy. There's like a huge fire on the highway or something. I don't know, like there's a bunch of street closures, whatever. Anyway, I found that it was actually quite difficult to focus in there because they kept playing freaking Taylor Swift. And Taylor Swift is not good reading music. Whatever your opinions of her are, Life of the Showgirl, whatever the freaking new album is, not good reading music. So I kept getting distracted. And then also trying to eat and read sometimes is bad for me. So I didn't get through a lot of the book. But the food is really good. Anyway, I know I have to like drive super far home in the wind. And all that Chinese food is sitting in my stomach and making me sleepy. That's my problem, not yours. Oh, here, let's do a little pull quote. There's this quote that I just finished off with reading that I thought was really good. She says, "I have no need to withdraw into a cave before I die. Nobody will be with me when I die. Nobody will touch me, stare at me, or press their hot and living fingers on my cooling lids. They won't hiss and whisper by my deathbed and force the last bitter drops between my teeth. For me, there will be neither human voices nor the howling of animals. I'm still glad to be alive, but one day I'll have lived enough and I'll be happy that it's over." So that's really dark, but I love that. That was beautiful. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. That's literature. Sometimes I play a little game of make-believe in my head. If I was an English teacher, that's what I call it. It's what the game is called. And it's like, what books would I choose for my students to read if I was an English teacher? And so far, the books on my English teacher curriculum are The Spear Cuts Through Water by Simon Jimenez and The Wall by Marlen Haushofer. I'm only like 100 pages in or something. I think that's actually not even. I'm like 90 pages in. What I've read of that book, I'm like, this is a book I would put on my curriculum. You know what I mean? Yeah, I think that's everything I had to say. Anyway, that's that. Today I'm going to a coffee shop. I'm still reading The Wall. I'm about, according to my Fable, I am about 49 or something, like 40 something percent through. I'm almost halfway through. So we'll see if I can finish it. I want to finish it today because I'm going on a trip, and I don't want to bring like a half finished book on the trip because then I'll finish the book on the trip and then I won't have anything else to read. We shall see. All right, I'm gonna go get a coffee. I'm gonna go sit in the coffee shop for a while. We shall see. I fly tomorrow, so I'm very overwhelmed with things. There's men. Anyway, just got out of the coffee shop. I did get a little to-go one, so I had 2. Oh my God, there's so many men. But I got to page 140 of 230, so I'm about 90 pages away from the end. Like I said, I'm traveling tomorrow, so I don't think the thing is like I could bring this and just finish it, or I could bring a different book and try to finish a different book. And so I'm on the fence. about that. There's two quotes actually that I thought would be interesting to read. The first is about the wall itself. What's so special about it? An object made of material whose composition is unknown to me. There was always more than enough of that kind of thing in my life. The wall forced me to make an entirely new life, but the things that really move me are still the same as before. Birth, death, the seasons, growth, and decay. The wall is a thing that is neither dead nor alive. It really doesn't concern me, and that's why I don't dream about it. And the other quote, and then the other one I had was, I often look forward to a time when there won't be anything left to grow attached to. I'm tired of everything being taken away from me, yet there's no escape. For as long as there's something for me to love in the forest, I shall love it, and if someday there is nothing, I shall stop living. Loving and looking after another creature is a very troublesome business, and much harder than killing and destruction. It takes 20 years to bring up a child, and 10 seconds to kill it. It took the bull a year to grow big and strong, and a few strokes of an axe were enough to dispatch him. And she comments later about, like, murderers, and she says, their hate for everything capable of creating new life must be terrible. Ooh, biting. Anyway, I had a really good reading session. I really like this book. Should I start a book club where it's like my English curriculum, where it's like the books I would make you read if we were doing an English class? And then what if I started giving people assignments? Nobody would join that book club. They're like, you want me to write an essay? Anywho, I need to go home now. I have some admin tasks to do today, and I have to finish packing and cleaning for my trip, so I probably won't get any more reading done today. I hope I do. But, you know, life wouldn't be life if I had all the time in the world to read. You know what I mean? That's the rest of this clip. I ended up taking The Secret Life of Bees with me on my trip, and so the plane was the public place for day number 5. I finished it on the plane home and then The Wall a day later. Both reviews are posted on my Goodreads and on my Fable. Overall, this is a neat little challenge to get me out of the house instead of hunched over my laptop or buried in my chair with a book. Thanks for watching until the end. I won't keep you much longer. Subscribe for more book shit.